What's up everyone, Pags here at MEI Studio. This week we're going to look at a mic that has had a ton of coverage already as a caster mic, the Maono PD400X. Since everyone has already dissected this mic, we're going to try and take a look at it from a different angle. One side note real quick, congratulations to John F. of Buffalo, New York for being our AKG P120 mic giveaway contest winner. We've gotten that mic out to you and hope that it helps to create something amazing. Back to today's subject, the Maono PD400X. We did an unboxing short. If you want to see what comes with the mic, check it out, link up top. So you'll notice something a bit different today. I've got a mic in front of me. Being that this mic is aimed at the caster market, I figured I'd use the mic for what its intended purpose is, since for the most part, we're going to be putting this mic in front of things that most people wouldn't. This pop filter is not included with the mic, it's my own, and since I intend to pass this mic along to someone who can use it more than I can, I didn't want to spray the included windscreen with my spit, because yuck, but I still refuse to wear headphones. Maono was gracious enough to send us this mic on their dime. I'm not being paid to do this review, and this mic will be passed on to somebody that's going to put it to good use for its intended purpose. This channel tends to lean towards more of the recording studio side of things. Since there's already a bunch of great channels that do a lot of the caster mics, and they do much better job of showcasing the mic for that purpose, I'm going to leave that side of things to them. And I'm talking about obscure mics with Bark, Bandrew's Podcastage, and of course Audio Hotline with Bronson, whose B-roll footage is nothing short of inspirational. I linked these channels and their reviews of this mic in the description down below. They get into the real nitty-gritty of what this mic can do for the spoken word. Rather than rehash what's already been said, let's just take a quick look at the features and specs of this mic and bring it into the studio where we can see if this mic can have a second life in a music recording environment. So we're looking at the Maono PD400X. This mic can be hooked up using XLR and/or USB. The USB side of things opens up an entire world of options for someone using this for casting with the Maono Link software, which I've linked to in the description. So if you have this mic and haven't used or found that software, it's actually quite useful. When powered by USB, the active components of this mic come alive. This includes a touch-sensitive mute switch, which can be a blessing or a curse if you tend to touch the mic a lot. The nice part is that there's no tactile response, so you don't get any kind of harsh click when you need to mute out. But that's also the curse, since if you're not looking at the part of the mic that has the indicator, you may mute yourself and not even realize. Mounting it sideways like I have it here will keep the touchy bits away from your paws so you don't accidentally hit anything. Unless you're left-handed, and then you just put the mic on the other side. Anyway, also on the mic is a rotary encoder that has three functions. First is the mic level. You can adjust your gain right from the mic, which is pretty awesome. If you press the rotary encoder in, it turns into the headphone level adjustment. And yes, this mic has a zero latency monitoring headphone output on the back near the XLR and USB connector. If you press the encoder a third time, it then becomes a mix knob so that you can adjust between the amount of direct mic signal and signal coming in from your other audio software. One thing to note, if your software routes the microphone input back into the output, you're going to get a funky slap delay kind of thing happening if you use the mix functionality on the mic. So best not to route the output of this mic back out to the mic for monitoring. Some DAWs like Pro Tools have a feature that disables throughput while a mic is recording for this very purpose. The end of the mic, where all the cables come out, we find a little button where you can control filters for the mic. There's a high-pass filter at around 150 Hz, a presence boost, which is a few decibel bell curve around 3K or so, and a combination of the two. The software has all of these features available to control and some added things like a compressor, which you really need to be easy on, as extreme settings on the compressor there would lead to some really strange behavior on the output. There's also a limiter, so if you're one of those people that like to scream for some reason other than recording metal, you can avoid digital clipping, which sounds terrible. The software makes it easy for beginners and pros alike, which puts getting a great sound out of the mic within reach of any skill level. When plugged in via XLR, this mic acts just like any other dynamic mic would. The knobs and switches don't have any effect on the output. Even if both XLR and USB are plugged in, which as with the first mono mic that we tried out, you can plug both the XLR and USB in at the same time and get sound out of both. Just note that the XLR output would not be affected by the mute switch or any of the other settings you choose through the app or from the buttons on the mic. This kind of thing would be great as a backup recording, so if you had the gain set a little too high or your compression settings were not quite right, if you recorded the XLR out, you'd have a flat, clean source to re-edit that hasn't been touched by the software. Pretty neat. So I can't look at this thing without thinking SM7b. The height is exactly the same off the yoke mount. The distance from the yoke to the front of the mic is exactly the same as well. This will make things a lot easier to swap in and out for testing, and I'm going to put it up with the SM7b in places I probably wouldn't even put the SM7b by itself, namely in front of a bass cab or a pair of them over the piano. We're going to try the usual suspects as well: guitar cabinet, clean, overdriven, distorted, and in a few positions to get a feel for how it does pick up. We're going to invite some friends over to check the mic out on some other things as well. Some acoustic guitar, and we're going to put the mic up on the snare with the drum kit and see how it rejects and how it handles high SPL levels in the real world. Let's get to it. Okay, so we've looked at this mic in a bunch of different places in the studio next to a mic that's twice the price. Though this mic is geared to be used for casting purposes, I kind of feel like the mic held its own on a lot of tests that we did. While neither the SM7b nor the PD400X excelled in the low end as we saw in the bass test, I wasn't turned off by it either. The piano and guitar test showed the PD400X's open top end compared to the Shure SM7b, which kind of sounded like it had a towel over it. Noted that I kept the 7B voicing settings flat. The high end is present without being overbearing. Had we engaged the presence boost on a lot of what we were testing in the studio, I probably wouldn't be saying the same thing right now. The high pass filter could have been useful for the drum test, but it's so easy to deal with in post, and most mics I use for drums, I usually don't use the roll-off even if the mic has it, so no complaints there. I feel that the mic did exceptionally well, all things considered. The price point of the mic versus what it can do, to me, is great. When you compare features, this mic has most of the familiar caster mics out there beat, like the Rode Podcaster, the Shure MV7 and SM7b as we've seen, the Samson Q9U, and the Deity VO7U. Is it dirt cheap? No, but I think this mic certainly punches way above its class. Is this a mic that I'd reach for in the studio? Probably not, but mainly for the same reasons I don't grab the SM7b for much either. The mounting system isn't practical for most studio applications other than vocals, and I probably have another mic that'll outperform this for a specific task already. Would I grab this mic to do a podcast and not have to worry about setting up a mic pre, compressor, limiter, EQ? You bet. Is this something that someone just starting out could use for a whole bunch of different things and still get a great outcome? Absolutely, no question. Overall, thumbs up on this mic. But I want to hear what you think though. Leave me a message in the comments section. What did you think of this? Was putting a caster mic in the studio just plain wrong, or can you see this being used as kind of a Swiss Army knife for a home recordist that could use this mic for streaming and casting, as well as grabbing sounds from guitar or some other instrument? We're probably not going to be doing many of these types of reviews since the caster mic market is covered by other channels, as I mentioned at the beginning. But is seeing how some of these more inexpensive mics perform in a studio environment something you'd like to see more of? Let me know. Let's chat. As always, if you've gotten anything from today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It'll really help us out. If you're interested in studio mics and other things audio related, hit that notify button so you'll be notified when we put up a new video. If you have any suggestions for a video or any questions regarding this one, please use that comment section or send us a message through our website. I'd love to hear from you. Well, that's it for this time. This is Pags, signing off.